everybody, and welcome to Storm Reads. And today I'm going to give you a little weekly reads and let you know what I have finished last week, and then some of the books that I'm currently reading. And so this week I read 5 books, which was pretty good. Let's see, 4 of them were audiobooks and 1 was ebook, so that's why I managed to get so many done. And the first one I have is Deadly Ever After by Eva Gates, and this is the Lighthouse Library's number 8, and it's about Lucy. She's trying to celebrate her engagement to Connor, and it gets interrupted by murder. Her ex, Ricky, his mother is determined that Lucy and Ricky are going to get together. I think it's more because she thinks that Lucy has money, which Lucy doesn't have. And she doesn't understand why she won't get it in her head that, she is not going to marry Ricky. Lucy's like, I don't understand. But she keeps pushing it, and so she kind of interrupts the whole, celebration. And then Lucy and I think her mother find a body, and it happens to be Ricky's father. So Ricky's father is murdered, and there's quite a few suspects on who might have wanted to kill him, including even Ricky. So Lucy's a little leery about even her ex there for a little bit on whether maybe he was mad enough at his father that he could have committed murder. And so yeah, it was pretty interesting. I enjoyed it. I give it 4 stars. I enjoy this series. It's not like a favorite, but it is definitely an enjoyable series. And this catches me up, so I can check this off of my Serious About Series list because I am caught up on this series. So, yay! Then the next one I have is an e-arc that I had. It's called The Halloween Moon by Joseph Fink, and I forgot what the publisher it is. Let's see if I can do it. Okay. Well, it's HarperCollins. So this is from HarperCollins, and Joseph Fink is the author of, or co-author to, Welcome to the Night Vale. And this is his first foray into a middle grade. And I just found this to be just okay. I give it 3 stars. It was doing really good up until the end, and I didn't appreciate some of the things at the end. I just didn't think that some of the things at the end should be in a middle grade. So it kind of docked it down a little bit. But this is about Esther, who loves Halloween. She does all thing Halloween. She makes more than one costume. She's not even really in for the candy. She doesn't really care about all the candy. She just loves to celebrate Halloween. She watches scary movies all the time. She's just really into it. Well, she turned 13, and she, I believe, is Jewish, and had her bar mitzvah type thing or something. Anyway, she had a coming of age, and so her parents tell her that since she's 13, she's an adult, and she doesn't need to celebrate going trick-or-treating and all that stuff. And she is really bummed, and so she concocts a scheme with her friend Augustine, who usually goes to the movie with his parents, and instead of going to the movies, she talks him in, or with his mother, she talks him into going trick-or-treating with her, so she can go over to his house and say that she is going to be watching the movie with him and his mom, and instead they go trick-or-treating. Well, they do this, and it just happens to be a Halloween moon, and this one old man tells them that they should stay inside. They shouldn't go out because it's a Halloween moon, and she doesn't understand, but she does see some kind of creepy things going on. There's a guy, some creepy guys in ice cream trucks, except they're selling fruit. The one has apple and one has a pumpkin, and then she's seen some kids in some ratty clothing, but she doesn't really understand it. I mean, it's Halloween, so you never know. But yeah, they get wrapped up in a whole kind of spooky thing going on because the Queen of Halloween has come out, and everybody is asleep except for her and her friend, because they were out Halloween trick-or-treating, but they notice that there's hardly anybody out. They don't see anybody, and then they notice there's no adults, and then that's when they find out everybody's asleep, except for one guy, Mr. Gulber, I think, or something like that. He accidentally woke himself up because he had a rock in his pants, and I guess he rolled over and it pinched him or something and woke him up or whatever. But anyway, he's awake. But everybody's supposed to be asleep, and they're supposed to be like in this dream thing where the Halloween Queen comes and does her thing or whatever. But now that they're awake, they're trying to get them, and so they're like running away from them and everything. And it was kind of a fun, spooky type of thing. It's just that, like I said, there was just something. I don't want to talk about what it is because I don't want to spoil anything, but there was just something that happened at the end that I just didn't really think belonged in a middle grade and everything, so it kind of docked the stars. But yeah, overall, it wasn't too bad. Then the next book I have is Murder at the PTA by Lee Hollis, and this is the first book in the Maya and Sandra series. And I'm not going to talk a whole lot about this because it is a knockout book for Cozy Killing Time with Cozy's book club, and we have next Saturday we'll be talking about it on the Beach Bum Bookworms channel. And I don't want to say too much about it. I don't want to give away what I think about this one because it is different for a Cozy, and we're all really kind of curious about how everybody's going to feel about this one. But it is about Sandra, who is president of the PTA, and she has she was up giving like a speech or whatever, and all of a sudden people are wanting to know about like a scandal that happened because she's married to a senator, and so it kind of throws her off and everything, and so it involves kind of that kind of stuff. And then there's a scandal rag with the school that's called Dirty Laundry, and that's where this came out, and she's wanting to know, you know, who has this. And then there's also Maya is a private detective, and she her daughter wants to hire her kind of to find out who's running the scandal sheet and everything. So she kind of gets involved in that, and then her and Sandra end up actually finding the body that's dead and everything. And yeah, it just had a lot of different stuff in it that's not in normal Cozy, and some things I didn't really care for, but overall it was okay. But I like I said, I just don't want to really say a whole lot about it. I'm kind of curious how like the next one's gonna go. I did kind of guess like who like one of the killers might have been, or somebody that was like actually involved in it pretty early on, but other than that, you know, it was okay. But yeah, so there's that one. And then I listened to Good Girls, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, and this is the second in the Good Girls Guide to Murder. And I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. It's another fun kind of podcast styled mystery. It's a young adult mystery. In the first one, we had Pip, who she kind of got a little bit famous for solving a murder through her podcast. It was a kind of a cold case, going through and interviewing everybody again for a school project. But it took a toll on her because she did almost die and everything in the first one. And she, you know, like, I want to take a break. I don't want to do any of that anymore. I'm just going to take a break. But then Connor, a kid that she knows from school, comes up to her and wants her to find out what happened to Jamie, his older brother, and she knew Jamie, and so it gets to her, and she makes a decision that she's going to go ahead and do it. And so she starts to look into what happened to Jamie and everything. And it had a twist, like a little bit of a twist end on what happened to Jamie and all these kind of things. It was a completely different way of going than what I thought it might have been. So I thought it was pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I hope there's going to be another one, because I like this podcast style mystery. It's kind of cool. Then I listened to Spy Camp by Stuart Gibbs, and this is the second book in the Spy School series. And it's sort of a slapstick kind of comedy spy novel for kids. The first one was about Ben, and he accidentally gets recruited into like a CIA school. He thought he was going to a science school, but he ends up in the CIA school, and he finds out that actually somebody thinks that he's really good with codes. Like there's this enemy people that are named Spider, and they are after him because they think he knows like this really cool code stuff, but he doesn't really know any of it. and stuff. And you find out later on, you know, exactly kind of why these people think this thing and anyway. But anyway, he survives. He survives it and everything. And so he's still in the CIA school. And he thought he was going to have the summer off and go spend the summer with his parents and his friends. But then he gets told that no, he doesn't get to take the summer off. He has to go to spy camp. So he gets sent to spy camp where some crazy zany things go crazy. The spider guys are after him again. They're wanting to recruit him to their side, and so they're trying to get him to go over. If he doesn't, then they're going to do something drastic to his friends and things like that. And there's a spy, an adult spy in this book that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's kind of like I would say, what is that guy's name? A Get Smart type of character. Like, if he does something right, it's on accident. But he's really esteemed spy. Everybody thinks he's so great, but it's because either he's took credit for somebody else or he just knows how to talk himself up to where it sounds like he did something great. And he's the father of one of the students, and she gets embarrassed by him and she can't handle it. She makes him like do what she wants him to do and stuff because she's better than him. And that's why I said it's kind of like a slapstick kind of thing, and it's just kind of funny. It's just a cute, fun middle grade book, and I give it 4 stars. I'm enjoying the series. This series is on my series about series, and so you'll probably be seeing a lot more of these on here because I'm going to try to knock these off real quick. And so that's the books that I've read for this week. And so here's some of the books that I'm like currently reading. I'm currently in the middle of Journey Beyond the Borough by Renee Hess, I think you might say it. This is another advanced e-copy, and it's from HarperCollins too. Okay, and this one is from HarperCollins. But look at those cute little mice. I don't know why, but I am a sucker for a mouse story. And I am 60% into this one, and it's just super cute. It's about these 3 mice who a storm happened and it knocked down a tree, and some spiders invaded their burrow and took one of their pinklings. It took I'm gonna guess that it's probably this little mouse here. I think he's probably the main character, Tobin. And it was him and his sister, which is one of the other mice that I don't know which is which. But that was their newly little pinkling. It was the baby. Their parents just had the baby, and they decide to try to find where the spider is going and get the spider back. But there's these rules that they're supposed to abide by in Rodentia, and they're just breaking all the rules trying to go and find the pinkling and everything. And they've made friends with a snake. They got a snake rodent partnership going on, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. Kind of the strange things that they're doing along the way to try to find their pinkling. And so it's just cute. It's fun. And then I'm trying to get this one done, which is the Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. And this is also another e-arc that I've gotten, and it's from Berkeley, looks like. And yeah, I'm 17% into this one, but I'm having just a little bit more problems with it. I usually like Grady Hendrix books, but for some reason, this one's just not hitting like the right way. I don't know. Some of the stuff that the characters done in here were just stupid, and I'm not really a big fan of unreliable narrators, which I'm pretty sure this is what this is, because the main character that we're pretty much following of the I think there's 6 of them, of the final girls, Lynette is like the one that we're following, and she is whacked out crazy. And so I just don't know how much you can trust of what she's saying and what she's doing and why she's doing it and stuff. So I don't know. But yeah, there's some crazy things going on. But like I said, I'm only 17% into it, so I don't know. It's a horror book, and hopefully it gets more interesting, but right now, yeah. Then I just got started. I'm only a few percent into The Lady Wicked by Scarlett Scott, and this is the 4th book in the Notorious Ladies of London series, and so I don't know a whole lot about this one, except for I do know that it features, I think her name is Joanna? No, Julianne. Julianne, and she was in the last book, and I know a little bit about her, and I know a little bit about the guy that she's supposed to hook up with, and so I'm kind of curious about their story because I do know a little bit about each one of them, how each one of them feels about the other, I guess you could say, and what happened with them. So now we're going to get like the full story, and then they're going to meet again, and we'll see what happens. So I'm pretty sure this is more like a second chance type of romance. But yeah, I've enjoyed most of them from this series. I didn't care for number 3 quite as much as I have the other ones. But there's, I believe, 6 in this series, so I'm just wanting to get going and get this series all caught up with. So I'm going to continue on with that one. And then, of course, I am in the middle of Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. I am 241 pages into this, so I'm a little bit over halfway. I am buddy reading this with a friend, and neither one of us really care for it all that much. But we're both wanting to try to read the series before we watch the show. And I don't know if this is just a product of its time. Like, it was, the first one came out in 2012 and this one 2013. And I don't know, I just don't feel like a whole lot happens in them. But I know it's a YouTube darling, and I keep trying, hoping that it's going to get good. But yeah, my friend informed me that it doesn't really get interesting until like the last 30 pages, so that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, but we're both trudging through it, and hopefully the third one in the trilogy will be like, you know, the big battle scenes or something maybe, and that something comes to a closure. And I think I'm more curious about the Six of Crow duology than I have been about this one, because I don't know, something about the crows and what I've heard about them just sounds more interesting. So hopefully we like those, because we are going to try to go through them all. I do say that my favorite character in this is Nikolai. He's pretty cool. I like him. I don't know why everybody likes the Darkling, because I don't like him. But anyway, making it through this one. And then the last book I have to talk about is I'm listening to Biscuits and Slash Browns by Maddie Day, and this is Country Store number 4. I have about 2 hours left of it, and whenever I finish that one, then I will probably jump on a Whole Cat and Caboodle by Sophie Ryan, I believe it is. And that's the number 1 in the Second Chance Cat series. It's a re-listen for me, and that's the other knockout book for the knockout challenge that Killing Time with Cozy does. So we'll get a hold of that one. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Don't have a whole lot to say about Biscuits and Slash Browns. It's okay, but I think it's been too long since I've listened to the other ones that I'm not really connecting with the characters too much. But maybe once I get this one underway and get into another one, I will enjoy it a little bit more. I do have this series on my Series About Series list, so I do want to get it knocked out. So hopefully I can do that. Anyway, this is all I have for this video, and I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.